The grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of our God endures forever.
Heaven and earth will pass away, but God's word will not pass away.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. A leper came to him begging him, and kneeling, he said to him, "If you choose, you can make me clean." Moved with pity, Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him and said to him, "I do choose. Be made clean." Immediately the leprosy left him, and he was made clean. After sternly warning him, he sent him away at once, saying to him, "See that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing what Moses commanded as a testimony to them." But he went out and began to proclaim it freely, and to spread the word, so that Jesus could no longer go into a town openly, but stayed out in the country, and people came to him from every quarter.
Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, what a dreadful disease leprosy is. We all feel pity at the sight of a person suffering from leprosy. All diseases are bad, but leprosy is considered particularly so because of the way it destroys the body of a person. The disease is still common in India, unfortunately. Among the Israelites, according to the law of Moses, as presented in the first reading, persons infected of leprosy were segregated and put outside human society, that to live a miserable existence. The law read, "A man infected with leprosy must wear his clothing torn and his hair disordered. He must shield his upper lip and cry, 'Unclean, unclean.' As long as the disease lasts, he must be unclean. And therefore, he must live apart. He must live outside the camp. Unfortunately, isolation and subsequent death was the society's remedy to leprosy. Only the priests could admit them back into society after an examination and proof of cure. But Jesus came to give us life, and life in abundance. Today's Gospel is one such example where we reflect on the healing ministry of Jesus. We are presented with the healing of a leper by Jesus. It is the first recorded account of the healing of a leper in the ministry of Jesus. What is significant is the faith of the leper. The leper pleads on his knees, "Lord, if you want to, you can cure me." Jesus was his only hope. That is why he dared to break the rule forbidding him to go close to people. He was sure Jesus would not send him away. He defied the laid down law of Moses concerning leprosy to meet Jesus. And Jesus defied the same law to heal him of the disease by touching him. Here, Jesus chose to become unclean in the eyes of the law, so that he might restore the poor and lost child of Abraham to wholeness. Let us imagine how this poor man felt when Jesus placed his hands over him. It was certainly the best experience of affection he could ever imagine. A sensational touch full of love. Who could imagine the last time he had such a human contact? I am sure the least he had expected was just to have a distant show of affection, but no one gave it to him. But here, he is having more than what he bargained for. Jesus did not only allow him to come close to him, he equally touched him. What a gesture of love we have in God. The healing of the man with leprosy is just one instance of the mystery of salvation taking place through Jesus Christ. Just one more illustration of God proving that He is mercy and love. The leper stands for the misery of man, from which Jesus came to lift him up. Physical misery, but above all, spiritual misery. He stands for the sin-infected, disfigured humanity. He is the mirror of man's soul without God. Jesus is the mirror of God's heart of love and mercy. Jesus is my Savior, and my salvation depends on my pleading. If you will, you can make me clean, Lord. And all that Jesus was, He is in the Eucharist. In the healing of the leper, we see the divine compassion of the Lord for suffering humanity. Out of compassion and love for the human race, He became man, fought the evil of suffering and sickness, and finally conquered it by His own suffering and death. In His infinite love for humankind, He placed heaven and a share in the life of God within our reach. We are always in need of His mercy because we are inclined to sin, and often we do sin. But He will heal us if we have the faith of the leper to plead, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. Faith in the mercy and power of Jesus. In the Gospel narrative, He shows us that He does will and does want to heal us, and His incarnation and death prove it beyond all doubt. The leper teaches us today that it takes courage to meet Jesus. There are many people out there who are longing to come out of the shell of sin and return to God, but they lack the faith courage because the society had already given them a label as first-class sinners. Dear brothers and sisters, the message today is heartwarming. The people around us may judge us, condemn us, and call us all sorts of names. They might be right because there is something in us that needs to change. However, we shouldn't worry so much about what people say. We should rather worry about how to effect change in our lives. Like the leper of today's Gospel, let us hasten to the feet of Jesus whenever we feel guilty of serious sin and tell Him with faith, Lord, if you want, you can cure me. Let us listen to His answer, of course, I want, be cured, each time we approach the sacrament of reconciliation. And let us never get tired of announcing to others Jesus' mercy towards us.
Let the Word of God dwell in you. Join us every Friday to store up God's Word in your heart.